Sunday is actually Father's Day, so to all you fathers out there, happy Father's Day. I hope that it was that you're having a great day and that you're happy. It's definitely a time to celebrate all the fathers out there that have worked incredibly hard and dedicated their whole life for their families. It's a huge sacrifice that I think a lot of people that aren't fathers don't realize everything that they've given up to create and maintain and sustain a family. So, to all you fathers out there, happy Father's Day. I know what it's like, and we definitely salute you. So, appreciate all of you guys watching the show and the channel. This is our Real Estate Insider, our podcast that we do weekly. So we also produce 3 videos a week that you can watch. I mean, we're a nationwide direct lender. We do commercial, residential, private lending. People call us to solve, their problems, figure out their situation, to help them to get funding. It could be a hotel, it could be someone buying their primary home. They got bad credit, they were late on their mortgage, or they're just trying to, they're a business owner trying to get a business loan or build their house. We do all different types of financing, construction loans, lines of credit, no doc loans, investor loans, hotels, restaurants, multifamily, single family, FHA, VA, USDA, just a ton of different financing packages. And we've been doing it for over 20 years. You can look us up online, Angelo Christian Mortgage. We have phenomenal reviews on Google. We've been doing it for over 2 decades and helping thousands of people. You can check us out on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. And the biggest thing is that we work extremely hard. We care, and we do whatever we can to help you to get your loan funded and come up with the solutions to get it done. And like I said, we've been proudly serving America for over 2 decades. So appreciate all of you guys tuning in and watching the channel. It means a lot to us. And every week we come and do our live show where we come and talk about content to educate you, empower you, give you the information to help you, to make you more aware about finance, credit, real estate. So we have all different types of financing packages out there to help you out to get your problem solved, to get it funded, whatever it is. And you could be trying to buy your first home as a first time buyer. We have down payment assistance up to 50 grand. We also do credit repair for our clients. So we're your one stop shop for lending. The only thing that we don't do is long term land loans. So we do construction loans. We do builder construction, residential, primary residence construction, developer loans, but just not raw land. So if there's anything that we can do to help you, don't be a stranger. Reach out. I mean, that's why we're here. So a couple things I want to talk about tonight. So kind of we go over the agenda, the topics that we want to go over is getting a mortgage loan. If you have late payments on your credit, that's the first thing I want to talk about. Buying a house with a 500 credit score, down payment assistance up to 50 grand. So those are the things that I want to go over. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to hit us up. If there's any questions that you have, we'll gladly answer those questions for you. So um, on the first topic is, we're starting to see a lot of people that are having lates on their credit and they're trying to get a loan. So I wanted to talk about this because some programs, if you have late payments and you're getting a loan, it's a deal killer. And some programs, it doesn't matter. So it's all based on the product and your situation. So I want to take a moment to talk about this because a lot of programs, let's say, for example, that you're trying to do an FHA loan or even a conventional loan, and you're applying for that mortgage and you have mortgage late payments, you're trying to do a refinance or even a purchase. If you have recent mortgage lates on your credit um, within the last year, it's going to be very, very difficult for you to get a mortgage loan for conventional or FHA. Okay, so you really can't have any mortgage lates in the last year. Okay, it really is a big deal for those products. So if you were over 30 days late, I'm not talking about one day late or 10 days late. If you're over 30 days late, um, you're probably not going to be able to get an FHA loan or a conventional loan. Now, you just still, if you're a veteran, you could probably get a veteran loan, but if you're extremely delinquent, even a VA loan is not going to work. Um, you can still get private funding. There's no doc loans or even non-QM. And then obviously hard money. Hard money can go all the way to the extreme of a foreclosure bailout. Even if you're in foreclosure, you can still get a loan, or even in bankruptcy. But if you're trying to get an FHA loan and you were late on your mortgage recently, you're going to have to wait at least a year to pass. Now, there are some exceptions to that. If you're trying to purchase a home with FHA and you're only 30 days late, that could be okay. But if you're trying to do a cash out loan, you're not going to be able to get any cash out. You're going to have to wait for a year to pass before you can get any cash out on an FHA loan. Now, private money or hard money loans, that doesn't apply. But if you're trying to do, an FHA loan, you're going to have to wait at least a year to pass. So I wanted to talk about this because we're seeing a lot of people recently that are applying, and they have mortgage late payments. Now, if you have other type of late payments like a credit card or even a car payment, that's not as bad. But if you have a mortgage late payment recently, that is problematic for some loan programs. Usually, a car payment or a credit card or installment loan, that's not really a big deal if you're 30 days late. But any of the, like a mortgage, whether it's a rental property, now, or a primary residence, it's gonna be a problem for FHA and conventional or like USDA loans. The other loan programs, like I was referring to, it's not so much of a big deal. So just want to put that out there to talk about that because I think it's important. So if you guys have any questions about that, please feel free. We've done a lot of videos on that, but please ask me if you have any questions. Um, so now talking about getting a loan if you have a 500 credit score. So we go down to a 500 credit score for FHA and VA. For USDA, we go down to a 550 score. So the thing is that one of the really important distinctions to know is that, like, so the FHA and VA don't have a credit score requirement. A lot of people think that the VA or FHA has a credit score requirement like 620 or 580. It's not true. So the VA and the FHA have no credit score requirement. They put that on the lender to determine what score they want to lend down to. So most lenders go down to a 580 or 620 or even a 640 credit score. For us, we go down to a 500. Now, just because you have a 500 credit score, 550 or 520 or 570 doesn't mean you're automatically approved. There's still approval process. There's still requirements. You still have to verify your income, debt ratio, assets, employment. The whole process is still there, but you can get a loan. The biggest thing, if you have below a 580 credit score, what they're looking for is that you have at least 3 months reserves, you have rental history, you have employment, your debt ratio is below 45%. And then the biggest thing is that you have no late payments on anything in the last 12 months. That's really, really what they're looking for. So what do I mean by that? So they're going to take a look at your credit report and they want to see your payment activity. So they want to see if you how have you made your payments. Um, and the thing is that if you had any payments that were over 30 days late in the last 12 months and you have below a 580 credit score, it's going to be an issue. Okay? They want to make sure you're making your payments on time. You have to have 1 year of solid payment history with no late payments. Very, very important. Obviously, what they're looking for is to make sure that you can make your monthly payments on time. That's why they are asking these questions, why they care about that. Because what they don't want to do is make a loan and then, you're late on your credit cards, your car, because then they think you're going to be late on your house. So they check that just to make sure that you're not going to be late. So if your credit score is below 580, those are the main things that they're looking for. Okay. Also, rental history. If you're trying to buy a house for $500,000 and your payment's $3,000 a month, and you've never made a payment on rent or a mortgage in your life, that's called payment shock. And you're not going to be able to get a home loan for a $3,000 a month payment, and then you've never paid that in your lifetime. Okay, so what they're looking for is that if you're getting a mortgage to buy a house for, and I'm talking about a primary residence. I'm not talking about rental properties, hard money, no doc. I'm not talking about any of that stuff. I'm talking about for your primary residence. Okay, so if you're trying to buy a house and you've been living with your parents, or you've been in college, you've been living in a dorm, and you never made a mortgage payment in your lifetime or a rent payment, and now your payment's 3,000 a month, they're going to be really wondering how are you going to be able to handle that mentally, financially, you know, because you've never done that before. They're not going to let you do that. You got to kind of stair step it, right? So if maybe you had $1,000 payment, okay, then you can probably go to 2,000, maybe 3,000. But if you never had a payment in your life on a house or rent, then how are you going to be able to pay a $3,000 a month payment? And that's what the concern is going to be. Well, the reason why I'm telling you this is so that way you're aware, so you can be proactive, start planning, so that way you can get a loan in the future. So you don't go under contract, go through the application process, and then you get denied because you didn't know these things. I'm telling you all this stuff. Angelo said all these things so that way you're aware, so you are successful, so you can get the funding, so it can happen. So that's the whole point behind having these shows and talking all this conversation is that you get educated, and I pass my information and knowledge on to you so that way you can get where you need to go in your life, right? So these are standard guidelines, policies, procedures with loans. It doesn't matter who you go, whether you go with me or anybody, what they're going to be looking for. So um, anyway, it's just food for thought. Some of the things I want to discuss with you tonight. Like I said, we do all different types of loans. We do foreclosure bailouts, bankruptcy bailouts, no doc loans. One of the things about no doc loans I did want to talk about. No doc doesn't mean that you don't supply any information, that you just get approved and you get funded. No doc means that you don't supply tax returns, W-2s, or pay stubs. That's all that no doc means. So you still have to do, appraisal. You still have to do credit check. You still have to do underwriting, processing. They're going to check your bank statements, stuff like that. You just don't have to put up tax returns and pay stubs and W-2s. That's what no doc means. So you still have to get all the stuff in, insurance, appraisal, title, the whole thing. But a lot of people think, well, if I'm doing a no doc loan, I just automatically get approved, and it doesn't work like that. So part of what we want to do is be extremely visible and transparent to make sure you guys understand the process. And when you're going through a loan process, the biggest thing is to surrender to it, get the information that the lender needs, get the documents they need. Don't fight it, don't combat it, don't battle it. Get the information that's needed so you can be successful, so you can get funding. Right? You're still going to have to go through a process. It doesn't matter what you're doing in life. There's going to be a process. There's things that you have to do. Okay. No matter the type of loan that you're trying to get, there's going to be procedures, there's going to be underwriter, there's going to be policies, there's going to be compliance, there's going to be guidelines, and you're going to have to get those items in if you want to get your loan funded. If you're not going to comply, not get the information in, then the loan's not going to get approved. It's not going to get funded. That's just how loans work. You got to get what the lender needs. They're trying to help you to get the loan done. They're going to need your certain things. And if you're not going to provide those things, then the loan's never going to get approved and it's never going to get funded. You have to just get it and say, yes, I'll get it, no problem. Work with them to get it done. And then ultimately, you'll get to a point where you get to funding, and then you'll get your money, get your property or whatever, and then move on. It will happen, but you have to surrender, you have to comply, and get the information that's needed. That's how it works. If you fight it, it's never going to happen. So, lastly, what I want to talk about is the down payment assistance program. If you guys are out there and you're trying to buy a property, whether you're a first time buyer or not, we have down payment assistance programs. You can get up to 50,000 to purchase your primary residence only. Okay, and it goes up to, so most loan amounts it's based on the county that you're in. Most areas is 500,000. Some areas up to $1 million. Like in California, New York, high balance, high cost areas. But you can get up to 5% of the purchase price for your down payment and closing costs. You have to have at least a 620 or higher credit score. Has to be a single family, or a duplex is okay, or a manufactured double wide is okay. Um, and it is full documentation. It's not a no doc loan, so they have to see your W-2s or taxes for the last 2 years, depending on what your type of employment is. If you're self-employed, they have to see taxes. If you're a W-2 employee, then you just have to see pay stubs and W-2s. But you can literally get up to 5% of the purchase price for down payment and closing costs. And then on top of that, you can get another 6% for the closing cost. So ultimately, you can buy the house with virtually no money down and get a great 30-year fixed rate. 30-year fixed rates are running around 7.5% fixed right now. So it's a great package for people out there that are trying to get funding. And we offer that nationwide. The only state we can't do that is New York. We can't do it in New York, but everywhere else we can offer that program as a 30-year fixed rate. Like I said, there's no income restrictions. There's no location restrictions. The minimum loan amount is 200,000. The maximum is based on the county, where it's 500,000, or if it's a high limit area, go up to $1 million. Just let us inquire with us, and then we can let you know on that for sure. So, yeah, and I'm glad you guys tuned in and watched the show tonight. It means a lot to me. We work very hard to educate you, empower you, get you the knowledge, get you the information. We've been doing this for over 20 years. So if you have any questions, you want to get pre-approved, we're open 7 days a week. There's no other lender that I know that does that. You can call or text us 832-431-6331. I'm really glad that you guys tuned in tonight to watch the show on the channel. Again, happy Father's Day to all you fathers out there. I know how hard it is to make it work, make the family go, keep everything going. If you're a breadwinner, it's extremely difficult, I know. My hat goes off to you, even though I don't really wear a hat. But we definitely salute you guys. So, again, have a great weekend. I appreciate everyone tuning in, watching the show on the channel. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, our website, Official Angelo Christian. You can see us on Google, Angelo Christian Mortgage. We've had thousands of customers that we've served. Like I said, we've been doing it over 2 decades. So reach out, call or text us if we can help you do anything. 832-431-6331. Thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight. Take care. God bless. Happy Father's Day, guys. See you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.